Here are 10 things you should know before getting a dog or two. 1. Expenses. Not only purchasing dogs can be expensive, but you also got to purchase the kennel, the collars, the leashes, and everything again as they grow up, because you know they grow out of stuff. This one, believe it or not, is my 6th kennel, and I only have one now. You also need to get them food right away. Zeus has allergies, so he gets like special type of food. It's a rabbit type based food, and that is expensive. You need to have a dermatologist to get that type of food so they can approve it, which is ridiculous in my opinion. And that's not including the pills I need to give him. That's an extra expense. You know? Commitment is another one. You need to stay committed to your dog. I know people like to bring home for whatever the case may be, but a dog is a baby and they get so used to you, and they should be committed into your life forever. Not just on that, but they also need bathroom breaks, playtime. They need a lot of attention, especially for the type of dog you have. Pit bulls, they are needy. For playtime, I would say like at least 30 minutes every couple of days. I strongly recommend 10 minutes a day, and that's just like a little play inside the house, but definitely outside play is the best so they can get tired and be able to sleep at night comfortably. Also being able to take them outside, especially when they're puppies, every 2 hours, especially when they're really young and they're crate training. You need to have that commitment of waking up when they throw up, when they start gagging. Another thing is paying attention to their needs. Medication. The medication my dog is on, literally for life. What's crazy is that I have to give it to him at the same time every day. 3, patience. Oh my God. My dogs have really showed me patience. When crate training, they will cry for hours and hours and hours. It'll keep you up. You're gonna be tired and you're gonna think about taking them back, but you gotta learn those patience, and you gotta go at their pace. And again, I already mentioned midnight trips, especially when they're little. If you don't work from home, you need to figure out a schedule where it works for both of you guys, and that's a commitment too. Like, are you rushing home right away so you can let your dogs out? And that puts you in a strain, so that's something to think about. Or who can let my dog out? Number 4, dog sitters. Believe it or not, you're gonna need one, and I suggest you designate one before you even get the dog. A lot of people think like, oh, my parents or my friends, or honestly they don't even think about it at all, and they get the dog. But little did you know, they come with a hassle. You know, your dog may have little needs like medications at the same time, and the hair, the drool, the cleanup after their poop, like your full responsibility goes into them. And if you're okay with, and they're okay with that, all right. But that is a huge responsibility that should be adapted before you even get the dog, because if not, you better have the money to be able to take a doggy daycare or wherever. And don't think about taking a trip either for a long time. You are gonna, like I said, you're gonna need a really good friend or really good money for that. When you have a dog, you can't leave for the whole day. You're gonna need someone to check up on your dog, feed them, take them out, whatever your responsibility is. Someone else has to do it for you, and you need to find that person. You need a person. 5, behavior and training. Why? Because then you can't take your dog for a nice walk without your dog overreacting about a little boy running or a dog walking by. You need to either invest in a trainer, or you need to make the commitment and make time to train your dog. And what I've learned is that training is not for a certain period of time. Training is for your whole life. Dogs are consistently pushing your boundaries to see how far they can push and how far they can get away with. So when you're training, it's an everyday thing. You need a schedule, and there's always new things. For example, my dog just saw a little teeny tiny baby for the first time, and he heard the crying, and he was so confused. He barked a little bit, and that I was like, okay, that kind of scared me. you know? But I realized that that's something I need to train him on. Keep in mind, he's almost 3 years old. Like, how do they react with people coming into your house? You don't want them jumping around and knocking people over or peeing somewhere where they're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be able to train them, socialize them, let them know exactly where they can do stuff, can't do stuff, when it's playtime, when it's not. Little things like that will go very far and it'll make it really easy for you, but it's such a huge thing to do and it's consistent. 6. This one's more about brands. I noticed that people will spend a lot of money in the beginning just rushing to get crates, rushing to get collars, leashes. But if you do your research, you can have one thing for a long period of time. For example, this is not a good example because it didn't come with a divider. So if you get a large kennel that comes with a divider and you have a little tiny puppy, you're able to put the divider right here so the dog has enough space for its body length. That'll help the dog get crate trained so it doesn't poo and pee in its area, because most dogs don't like that, so they'll just wait until you take them outside to go potty. The more space they have, the more they'll pee everywhere else and they'll just lay down in another corner. But if you know your dog is going to get bigger, the bigger they get, the more space you give them with the divider. Eventually they'll use the whole thing and they'll already be potty trained. So that's one example. Leashes. There's so many type of leashes. And like I said, people just go for the regular. That one is a little bit of preference depending on what you like, what stage of training you're in. Collars. I have 3 collars. One is a prong collar, e-collar, and then just a regular collar. They all serve different purposes. I have about 4 leashes. I have a regular leash. I forgot the ones that they tie. Yeah, I have four different types of leashes and I use them all. Just little things like that, or even the types of trays you buy your dog. I've learned from experience I will never get my dog a plastic tray because it gives him acne on his face. It's always good to do metal or what your cups are made of, but it's just little things like that, and along the way you'll keep spending without even knowing. My paychecks, I always buy my dog toys, but you look in their bin, they only have a couple because their teeth are so strong. So you always want to invest in a really good brand. That way, as they grow up, you're not changing things 100 times. You just get one thing and you're either able to modify it or get to a certain level where you probably only got to purchase it one more time but better. So research is always a good thing. If you're gonna buy it, get the best of it. That's my motto now. Number 7 is toys and fun. The more fun they are, literally the more expensive they are. Especially the size of the dog. If your dog is really aggressive, they need harder toys. The toy that you need to get them for it to last will be more expensive. So the smaller the dog you have and not as rough, you can probably buy them little teeny tiny toys and they'll be fine forever. But the bigger dog you have and the more aggressive or the harder toy you need, it'll be more expensive. So technically, or they'll even have toys where they're big but they don't have like the rubber inside, and inside the toy there's another toy type of thing. So the more fun they are for the dog, the more expensive they are. And they run about like $20 a toy. They're not cheap. 8. I would say emotional toll. Just because I swear I always feel so guilty leaving them. They give me their little puppy eyes, or the emotional toll when I have to ask my parents or even a friend or a family member to please watch my dog, or especially if you know them and they're not fully okay with meeting your dog's needs because they need some type of treatment. They have to take pills at a certain time. I feed them at a certain time, and they get used to a schedule, and when you mess that up, sometimes depending on the dog, it can impact their mood. And honestly, just seeing my dogs go kind of sucks. It's an emotional toll for yourself, them, and your family. And if you don't have someone that can do that, that's even harder. Even trusting sitters or to take them to a daycare, but it's like that trust. Like, are they gonna treat them good? Is he getting into dog fights? Like, what is this person doing? Number 9, when you get one, you'll probably get another one. The thing is, you're having so much fun with the one dog you have, and then you leave them because they're responsible in the house, and then you come back home or you watch them leave, or you're looking at them through the window and you notice that they look sad, so you want to get a friend for them. And so you do, and now you have 2 dogs. And you're going through this whole list of process again. Luckily, Zeus has a friend now, and his friend Coco, which is his sister, she is fully trained now, so we're at that stage where, you know, things are getting so much better, but I had to go through those stages twice. So that's another thing. When you get one, you'll most likely get another one. And then when they both grow up, then you'll get doggy fever again, puppy fever. But no, I'm done at 2. So let's end it out with a good one. Number 10, love beyond expectation. Your dog is the most loyal thing ever. When I get anxiety attacks, I pet them, I hug them. When I feel sad, I talk to them, I hug them, I feel so much better. They're literally loyal, they're part of my pact, I'm part of their pact. Literally angels. I strongly suggest, if you want a little blessing that you have to take out in the middle of the night, I would do some research to see what type of animal fits you. I know a lot of people go by looks, like, oh, I've always wanted this dog, but if it does not meet your needs, probably shouldn't get it. It's just best for you and the dog. There is websites that will ask you questions, and based on your answers, it'll say like, oh, you should get this type of dog, or maybe you shouldn't get a dog, you should get a cat, or neither of these work, you should get this one based on your needs. And it'll tell you like why, and do research on the type of dogs, their moods, their neediness, their drive, their everything before you get a dog, just because I don't want you to bring home a dog. That is so sad. To me, it was totally worth it, but these are the things I wish I knew before I got a dog, because I'm still really young and I wanted to travel and I wanted to do all these things. I either A, need more money, or B, I probably shouldn't have gotten a dog. That is all for today. I love him to death. Please comment, share, and subscribe, and let me know what video I should do next.